Hi guys, welcome back to How I Makes Up. Today I thought I'd show you 10 of my favourite luxury foundations. These are foundations that I use in my pro kit quite often, and they're foundations I've used for a long time and they're tried and tested as far as I'm concerned. So the first one I'm going to show you is a really long-standing favourite of mine, and that's the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I've used this for as long as I can remember. I think it's such a good foundation. I think you get quite, as the name would suggest, it's very dewy, it's quite luminous on the skin, really nice for bouncing light. I find I can get away with this red carpet, I can get away for it on certain TV, not so much high definition, but I can use it for certain things on TV. It's beautiful for weddings, and I find the shade range is now really good. It's one of Giorgio Armani's longest standing foundation ranges, and I really think this is a beautiful fail-safe foundation. A slightly similar foundation that I really enjoy using is the Photo Perfection Light by Givenchy. Now this only comes in about 6 or 7 shades. However, I think the texture of this is really beautiful. It's really nice on more mature skin as well. It's something, again, I use sometimes for red carpet, I use for photo shoots, and I find it's a little bit sheerer than the Luminous Silk by Giorgio Armani. So it does come with this sponge, but you can take the sponge off as well, so you can make it much more hygienic. And the fact that the little bowl stands up and it's a squeezy tube is really easy for travelling as well. The next one is by Chantecaille, and it's their Future Skin. Now it's a very pricey product, but it really is beautiful if you want your skin to look just like real skin, but that's a slight bit more perfected. So you're going to get quite minimal coverage with this, but I think it's one of those foundations that will look true under lighting in terms of not looking like you're wearing lots of makeup. It's an oil-free formula, and it's like a gel foundation, so it's quite a runny consistency. I find it easiest to use with a brush, some prefer fingers, but it's one of those foundations that for natural looking makeup, it's completely faultless, and I really like using this. When it comes to a more matte skin, something I really enjoy using in my kit is the Burberry Velvet Trench Foundation. It's a bit of a kind of bulky, heavy style bottle, so it's more of a kind of pretty dressing table bottle, I would say, than a travel-friendly foundation. However, the finish of this is really modern. It's not cakey or heavy, it still looks like skin, and it's still got a sheerness to it that you can still build the coverage. So I find it's quite a flexible foundation to work with. I like it in my kit, and I did do a video actually where I used this foundation, which was kind of a Burberry makeup review. So I'll link that below so you can see what this foundation looks like on as well. When it comes to high definition makeup, so that might be for a music video or if someone's being filmed for TV, Makeup Forever High Definition Foundation is one that I always come back to. It's really beautiful. I would say this is a medium to full coverage foundation. It's not particularly dewy or matte, it's kind of a satin finish in between. I think this suits most skin types, and it's a really nice foundation to work with, and again, the shade range is really vast. Chanel Vitalumiere is a really fantastic foundation, especially if you have more dry skin. It's very moisturising, very nourishing, and this again is really nice on kind of all ages, most skin types, but really good on drier skins. And it's a very nice kind of dewy foundation. I would say the coverage on this is more kind of medium to full, and you can build the coverage as well, but it still gives skin that really lovely glow. A lot more kind of yellow toned, I would say, in the shades that they come in, but really beautiful and flattering on the skin. The next one I'm going to talk about is another kind of really natural looking foundation, and it's one of the new formulations, which is kind of these, similar to the Chantecaille kind of gel formulation. It's almost like a really thin watery liquid, and this one is the Bobbi Brown foundation, and it's called Skin Foundation SPF 15. This foundation really surprised me as I wasn't sure what to expect with it. It's not like I think it's similar to the kind of Giorgio Armani Maestro, which personally I didn't really get on with too much. But I found this one by Bobbi Brown is really beautiful because you can still build it to a certain amount. So again, you've got really good colours to choose from in terms of their shade range. The feeling is quite moisturising and nourishing. I think this would be quite good on most skin types unless you had really oily skin. And it's really nice as well for younger girls, so if you have any teenagers that are just starting to wear makeup, again, this is a really nice, it just looks really nice and soft on the skin, but it gives that little tiny bit of coverage. So I've been using this quite a bit myself recently, and I used a little bit of this on my skin this morning. So when it comes to tinted moisturisers in terms of foundation, I think Laura Mercier has it covered. In terms of the market, she has so much to choose from, whether it's kind of the illuminating version, the oil-free, or the normal moisturising, and I think you can even get them in the compacts now. So the Laura Mercier tinted moisturiser, again, the shades are pretty good. I think the fact you've got squeezy packaging is great for travelling, and this product looks beautiful on the skin. Again, it's quite a light coverage. You can find something for every kind of skin type, and this is just a fail-safe product that I still use a lot on editorial actually as well, when I want the skin to look real and still have a little bit of coverage around the nose maybe, and just build the rest with concealer. These tinted moisturisers I've used time and time again, and I really enjoy using them. The YSL Touche Tonic Eclat foundation was something when it first came out, I think the beauty world went really mad for, and I can see why it's such a good foundation. Again, it's got all the things going for it that you would want from a high-end foundation. It's got a really vast shade range. In terms of the texture, it is more of a dewy foundation. I would say this one is medium to kind of full coverage, more on the medium side, but you can build it up a little bit. The shade range is beautiful. Again, it's quite a heavy glass bottle, so it's something if you're traveling, you might want to decanter it down. It lasts really well on the skin throughout the day as well, which is something that I really like about this foundation if I'm using it for photo shoots. I have used it for red carpet as well, and I think it's one of those kind of very youthful looking foundations. It just perks the skin up, plumps it out, and is very flattering. I think just gives that more youthful appearance with the skin. So last but not least is RMK, and this is their liquid foundation. RMK is one of those brands I think not many people know about unless you're kind of in the beauty industry or work in makeup. And RMK is a Japanese brand that does kind of a few products within their collection, but the products they do are absolutely fantastic. Really good one as well for kind of cheaper versions of the Suku brushes if you really like using those. But this foundation, I remember using this very early on in my career, and it's one of those foundations that looks very elastic on the skin. So again, it's quite youthful, it's not particularly dewy or matte, it's that kind of satin finish in between, but it still has a kind of inner glow within the foundation, so it's youthful looking, and it just really makes the skin radiate health. And it's one of those foundations I always come back to. If you go for the number 1 shades, they have more yellow undertones, and if you go for the number 2 shades, they have more pink undertones. So again, quite good shade ranges as well within this foundation. It lasts really well. So it's a really beautiful foundation, and I'll link up a video I did recently where I've used this foundation so you can see how it films as well. There's lots of foundations I love using, but these are the 10 that I come back to time and time again, and they're my fail-safe, tried and tested. So let me know what's your favourite high-end foundation in the comments below, and I'll see you soon for more videos. Thanks very much guys, bye!